grilled pepper chicken and sweet mango sticky coconut ugali for dessert. Green, yellow and red bell peppers, celery, spring onions, red onions, pulse it down going with ginger and garlic, coriander, rosemary and thyme, habanero pepper, parsley, blitz everything down into a chunky consistency. Into a pan with a bit of oil, Maggi cube for seasoning, mix to combine and cook everything down for 30 minutes, adding the juice of 5 lemons. Turn off the heat, mixing it in, pouring under the skin. Once cool, rubbing and massaging to season the insides, pouring more of our marinade over the chicken. Once evenly coated, chicken goes onto the grill and we're going to let this cook as we prepare our sweet dessert, which is going to be ugali. Coconut milk alongside some sugar into a pan over medium-low. Mix, dissolving the sugar, tasting while adding more till your desired sweetness is achieved. Ajab premium maize meal into our now sweetened coconut milk. Fold in Ajab premium whiteness into our sweetened coconut milk, getting rid of any lumps, doing it over low heat not to denature the coconut milk. More Ajab premium maize meal and we are going to fold it in, making incredibly soft ugali. And once that great ugali aroma fills the air, our ugali is done, ready for the next step, which is placing our ugali in a steamer basket, wrapping with cloth and steam for 30 minutes. Our grilled chicken has cooked through with the chunky marinade, forming a delicious spicy crust, and our sweet coconut ugali was done. And since it's a dessert, plated with some sliced mangoes, pouring over more sweetened coconut milk, thickened with a bit of cornstarch, black sesame seeds or green onions for garnish, and it was time to dig in, going in first with our spicy pepper chicken, nice and savory. But the star of the show has to be my Ajab mango sticky coconut ugali that you just have to trust me and give it a try. Enjoy.
I flew all the way to Kenya to have this chicken, which is making me salivate like crazy.
Cholo grill murgi banai shate tagbe ugali. Lemongrass, ginger and garlic, coriander roots and stems alongside coconut milk, Ethiopian berbere spice mix, light soy sauce and fish sauce, blitz in a processor into a chunky marinade, pouring over our chicken, and we're going to completely submerge the chicken, letting it brine overnight. Shake off any excess marinade and onto our wire rack, generously seasoning with our Ethiopian berbere seasoning, evenly coating both sides of our chicken. Onto the grill, spritzing over some salty water for moisture, and as the chicken grills, we got started on the ugali.
আপনি যদি গরম পানির মধ্যে ভুট্টার ময়দা দিয়ে দেন তাহলে হয়ে যাচ্ছে কেনিয়ানদের প্রধান খাদ্য, যেটা হচ্ছে উগালি। এন্ড এই উগালির ব্যাপার যদি বলি, এইটা যদি টেবিলে না থাকে তাহলে কেনিয়ানরা খাবেই না। এন্ড একটা মজার ব্যাপার, এইটার টেস্ট কিন্তু অসাধারণ। এন্ড এটা এতবার নাড়াতে হবে যাতে হাত ব্যথা করে, তাহলেই বুঝবেন এটা ভালো উগালি বানাইছে।
Tomatoes going in with managu, sauteed for a few minutes, and that was our veggie side for the day done. Chicken was looking good. Go ahead and grind down sugar alongside red chilies. Lime juice going in with fish sauce and chicken stock. Mix to combine, adding red and green onions, minced garlic, Ajab maize meal in a hot pan, toast till golden nutty and aromatic, and into our dipping sauce to thicken and help the sauce stick to the chicken that at this point I had chopped and plated everything up. This was the meal we made as an appetizer, waiting on the main meal that you just have to keep posted for more. Thank you for visiting, brother. Hope you enjoyed Kenyan hospitality. Tell the world about us, and sorry for missing your flight back. At least you aren't stranded hungry at the airport. A win is a win.
Really good chicken.
This is what happens when jollof and pilau fall in love and 9 months later deliver the most delicious Napo baby, that is Kenyan jollof. The best jollof rice in the world, and it all starts with the best quality basmati rice. But first, roast your red bell peppers till charred and smoky, roughly chop them up, done. Roast red onions till sweet, smoky and charred, roughly chopping them up, done. Carrots for extra sweetness, once charred, roughly chop them up, done. Ginger and garlic over hot coals, once smoky and sweetly fragrant, roughly chop them up, done. Habanero pepper, seeds in, once charred, roughly chop them up, done. Tomatoes in last, once caramelized, charred, sweet and smoky, roughly chop them up, done. Blend everything into a chunky consistency and into a pan with a bit of oil, going with onions. Saute till wilted and fragrant, toasting your whole pilau masala, pounding and grinding to a powder and into the pan. Infuse your pilau masala into the oil, going into tomato paste, cooking the rawness of your tomato paste, proceeding to pour in your blended veggies and pepper, stock cubes and curry powder, and you're going to let this simmer down and completely cook through. And as our pilipili ya kukaanga simmers down, I started on the beef stew that we're going to be serving with our jollof rice. Let the beef simmer down and on to the most important part, which is preparing our rice. Pal basmati rice, washed and rinsed 3 times, getting rid of excess starch, and once the water runs clean, strain, and our rice is ready to be cooked. Sauce is cooked. Once the oil starts to separate, transfer into a bigger pot, followed by your washed pal basmati rice. Mix to combine, frying your rice in the sauce till translucent, going in beef stock. Lots of mixing is involved in this dish. I recommend using basmati rice, as any other variety will easily break, resulting in jollof ugali. Bring this to a boil and let it simmer in the sauce. Meanwhile, our beef stew was done. Garnish with coriander, turn off the heat and mix to wheel down, and after 25 minutes our jollof rice was done as well. Mchele imeachana moja moja, perfectly cooked, nice and fluffy. Plated a portion for myself, and always remember, good things are meant to be shared. Hebu cheki vile mchele imeachana moja moja. You might think the rice has trust issues and a social distancing. I packed 20 portions to let the people confirm that I'm not biased when I say Kenyan jollof is the best jollof in the world. Let me know which country makes the best jollof rice and why Kenya. Enjoy. Let's make classic Kenyan beef wet fry. New York Nigerian ugali and managu, starting with red onions sliced up. Done. Tomatoes. Done. Spring onions chopped up, done. Coriander roughly chopped, done. Managu African nightshade roughly chopped, done. Chop your beef ramp into cubes, seasoning with salt, rubbing it in to evenly coat. Heat up oil in a pan and without overcrowding, go in with your beef, evenly spreading it out, frying over high heat, and once golden brown and caramelized, in with our red onions. Fry your onions alongside the beef, deglazing the fond off the bottom of the pan, and we're going to do this till our onions are nice and golden brown in color. Salt is our only seasoning, so color and depth in flavor is determined by how golden brown your onions and beef are fried to. Go in with your tomatoes, and you're going to cook the acidity of the tomatoes, breaking them down into a sauce, hence the term wet fry. And as that got cooking, it was time to get busy with the ugali.
Gordon Ramsay's Kenyan nemesis is forcing me to make ugali, which is insane to me because my title isn't chef. He's the chef. Why the hell am I in the kitchen? But whatever. Anyway, we're making ugali, which to me comes off as gentrified fufu. I'm Nigerian, so making fufu isn't a foreign concept to me. However, being barked at by Gordon Ramsay's Kenyan op is. God deliver you if you ever get in the kitchen with Dennis, honestly speaking. And you wonder why I'm crying. This guy was on the Kenyan Olympic rugby team and you're having me do this shit? Whatever, it was a spiritual experience and it proved to me that that means I have strength. Anyway, here he is tasting my ugali and telling me that I suck. And the wild part is that I actually had a blast doing this. I would do it again.
With the ugali done, red and green onions seasoned with salt, sauteed till wilted alongside tomatoes, allowing the tomatoes to break down before going with our managu, sauteed for a few minutes, and our veggie side for the day was done. Our beef had simmered down in its own sauce, and it's not too dry nor too wet, just saucy enough to accompany our ugali. Garnish with coriander, turning off the heat to wilt down, and our beef wet fry was done. Secret is cooking it over high heat, fast and quick. Adding water to the sauce will toughen the beef. Not forgetting the cut you're using will dictate the cooking method. I used ramp for this recipe. She said she could cook ugali, but the ugali gave up before she did. Ended up doing more talking than cooking, and if Yapping made food, we'd have had a feast. But hey, she did make Time Magazine top 100 creators, and for that, congratulations. And also, she's a software developer. Maybe next time she can program the ugali to cook itself. Grilled peri-peri chicken, chinsaga and ugali with Chief Justice Emeritus David Maraga. Bird's eye or Thai red chilies, roasted till charred and smoky, roughly chopped up, done. Serrano chili peppers over hot coals, and once charred and smoky, roughly chop them up, done. Garlic cloves, roasted till fragrant and aromatic, roughly chopping them up, done. Roast your red bell peppers, roughly chopping them up, done. Red onions till charred, smoky, proceed to roughly chop, done. Smoke paprika and oregano into a processor, season with salt, adding red wine vinegar, blitz everything to a paste of chunky consistency, and into a hot dry pan, letting it simmer for 30 minutes. Once cooked, adding oil, blending to a silky smooth peri-peri sauce, cooling down and pouring some under the skin of our chicken, rubbing it in to evenly distribute the marinade. More sauce on top of the chicken, and once nice and evenly coated, into our smoker it goes, skin side up, basting more of our peri-peri sauce, and let it cook low and slow as former Chief Justice Maraga got serving justice to our ugali. A man in every role he held stood for something foreign to most leaders' integrity. Even in simple things like making ugali, he had the discipline, patience, and quiet commitment to doing things right. A man who upheld the constitution when it mattered the most, and will be stepping forward once more in 2027. And maybe as Kenyans, the leader we've always needed is the one who always followed the rule of law. Our ugali was in safe hands, and the chicken was coming along nicely, so I quickly sauteed onions alongside tomatoes as Maraga picked the chinsaga, separating the leaves from the stems. Proceeding to thoroughly rinse in clean water into our now broken down tomatoes and onions, and these were young and tender, so no need to boil. We are going to let them saute till done. Our chicken had achieved the right internal temperature, and our chinsaga didn't take that long before it was cooked through. Chicken off the smoke and onto direct coals to crispen up the skin, basting with more of our spicy peri-peri sauce. We made it spicy, fiery peri-peri chicken shared with a man known not for noise but for justice. It wasn't just the heat we felt, it was a fire for change and justice, because as we speak today, our flag wraps more coffins than celebrations, not from foreign wars but bullets fired at home. That's not patriotism but betrayal, and we need a leader who stands firm, speaks less, and delivers more. Maybe that leader is already at the table.